morning. So I'm Vicki Castrona. For those of you that don't know me, I'm the co-lead of the Diversity and Inclusion Networking Group. Emily Osborne is my co-lead partner. Dean, sorry, I don't know how to say this up. So Dean is the Diversity and Inclusion Networking Group. We host lots of different events. We've collaborated with Will and Pride Alliance previously. In the coming year, we're going to be partnering with the Vegetarian Group to do like a Connect and Celebrate lunch, where we focus on vegetarian and vegan options, and hopefully lots more stuff in the new year to come. So email Dean at Capella, any questions, if you want to join our distribution list. We love to get your ideas, new members, spread the word. And I'm going to introduce Miss Donna Harris, who has been with Capella for 13 years and is probably one of the kindest people I've ever met in my life. She is just a spark of joy in the halls, and she is an author. So we took this opportunity to partner with the Christian Sing in presenting her and allowing her to talk to us about healing as a community and coming together as a group and how to heal spiritually. So her daughter has joined us today, Leticia. She's here with us. So without further ado, Miss Donna Harris.
I think I have a mic. Can you guys hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I just want to welcome everybody for coming. I'll say it 3 times the way I do at church. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad that you guys are here. I'm Donna, the way Vicki introduced, and I was inspired a long time ago to write, just journal, first of all. So if you ever think about writing in your life, just start putting down your thoughts. It's really a great way to spiritually connect and reflect who you are and where you want to go in the future. So I'll start with the first book, Spiritual Poems, because that started in 1978. We moved to Minneapolis, my family, from Columbus, Ohio, and my mom remarried, so we came here to start a church over in North Minneapolis called New Salem Baptist Church. So we came here in a station wagon, no members but my stepdad's family, and I'm like, oh, what in the world is going on? Here I am in this school. Now in Ohio, where I'm from, there was this African-American kids and teachers, so when I came to Minneapolis to discuss diversity, I was an African-American person, maybe 50, 100 students, and everybody else was Caucasian. All of the teachers were Caucasian, a lot of the students. And I'm like, well, I'm kind of in a different environment. And the teachers and the kids were not getting along. They were fussing and arguing, and I wasn't used to that in Ohio. So I'm thinking, how am I going to fit into this? I'm new, I'm in 7th grade, and didn't know anybody. So I figured, well, just be who you are, Donna. So by the end of the school year, I got all of the gang members in our choir, turned that whole school around. By the end of the school year, we had a choir. We came and performed for the school that was rowdy. Now it was all humble and beautiful, and white kids loving black kids, professors and teachers loving everybody. And I'm like, okay, this is what I'm meant to do. And our choir was beautiful. And, you know, back in the day, Prince and I was just like 2-3 blocks apart. And everybody thought he had a crush on me. But I think he was just surprised at how this little black person can come in town and turn the whole high school around. And it was amazing. So that was kind of my first intro to knowing that maybe I have a gift. And the gift was just love. That's really all it's about. It's just spreading love to whomever you see, and being kind and being compassionate. No matter what color someone is, height, weight, none of that matters. Just by being kind. So the church was doing great, and 1978, I was coming into my own. I said, well, I'm in church. I got all these gang members in church. The church is doing great. I'm singing all the time. I had my first brand new car, so did Prince. He thought he was a hot shot, so did I. like it's about time for a change. So I said, well, I better start writing because I'm getting ready to go on a journey. So I quit church for a while, quit singing for a while, at least in church, sung on Broadway for the Wiz and just other things, the Guthrie, and I said, it's time for me to make some changes. So from 1978 on, I started to write and journal about everything that was going on in life, and titling it, and just being focused on who I am, where I want to go, and how this should look. So the first book came from that. So this is going back to 1978 to now. So when I started my master's, undergrad, and doctoral work, before all that happened, I was honored to get married and have a baby. Okay, grown young lady. So that's where this young lady comes into play. And I'm going to stop real quick and surprise her. Because she does not know she's the joy of my life. Yes. So the spiritual point was first. Then as we move into spiritual secrets of being a successful single parent, I got divorced and still going to school. Had this little angel, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm down to the lower part of the totem pole. I'm African American, have a baby, single parent, and broke. Think about that too, and broke. So I said, well, how am I going to make this work? So spiritually, I started just praying. I started in the choir singing, so that was always a gift. So I brought her to choir rehearsal all the time, church. Taught her how to love God and to be a beautiful person, which it turned out to be. And I said, let me write about this. Because people just don't know. They think because you're in the lower part of the totem pole that you're not going to be successful. But that's not so. That's not so. I'm trying to tell everybody that I meet, if I speak more in the world, don't think because you're down here, you're not going to be blessed. You might even be blessed more. So here I am, single parent, working, going to school, going to church, and having this angel to raise. And I did it all. So I said, I better write about this, where people can know you can be successful doing this, and it can work. This is the outcome, 2 master's degrees, church leader, the love of my life, and the reason why I think I've done so well is because she's my best friend. So I'll let Leticia talk now about that experience, and then we'll go to the next book.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'd just like to first and foremost thank everybody for coming out. It's like a homecoming for me. I worked at Capella about 10 years ago, and actually referred my mom here to Capella. She lasted longer than me. But about 8 years ago, I relocated to Arizona, which I reside now. And, you know, my mother, she's just been my inspiration my whole entire life. She's been a wonderful example as to what a strong, independent, spiritual woman of God would be. So I just aspire to be like her when I grow up. I'm actually growing up now. And basically, just as a child, you know, especially with peer pressure and all the horrible things that are going on in the world, I always would refer back to the spiritual lessons that my mother taught me so that I could live through life and navigate and try to avoid pitfalls, and even if I did go through pitfalls, how to overcome and bounce back from that. So I just wanted to help her create the book because it was a journey that we took together. And she has inspired me, and I know that she can inspire others that are in the similar situation, because unfortunately we live in a society and day and age where there's a lot of single parent families. And we're not just referring to single mothers, but single fathers also. It can go both ways. So we just wanted to create a step-by-step kind of guide to help people to know that they can overcome, and no matter what their circumstances, that they can succeed and be successful and raise their children, you know, in that manner also. So it was just such an honor to create this project with my mom. She really helps, you know, put the fire under us to say we have to share something with the world. We are here for a purpose, which is what she's always taught me. So I just want to take this time to thank you, Mother, for being such a wonderful woman and always being here for me. And that's what we did with the book.
So I was told, I was told by Vicki that really focus on the last book. So I got to do what I'm told because I love Vicki. So the last book is How to Heal from Sophisticated Slavery. So I'll tell you how it began and how we ended to this journey. Because we were through, I thought. But Leticia and I, every year we'll go to Las Vegas to see Circus Soleil. Because, you know, Annie Ryman, or, you know, our Annie from our old department, helped me to Circus Soleil about how great it is for Mother's Day. So we do this every year, kind of a ritual, and we'll see 2 or 3 shows. Then on our way coming back, I said, little Leticia, or grown Leticia, guess what? I have one more book in my head. She says, oh, you do, Mom? And she said, well, where did that come from? I said, well, it was just kind of an insight that came to me. And it's sophisticated slavery that I feel that we're in now. And I said, I think I have some ways to get us out of it. And she said, well, tell me a little bit more about that. And so I started sharing all the things that I've seen, because I'm 61, from the past to what I see now, and how some things are still the same, but a little bit different. And she said, well, Mom, how about title it How to Heal from Sophisticated Slavery? So the title started from that. So I started writing about every little area that I see is going on in the world now that used to happen in slavery, but in a different way. And I'll give you some examples. We all know about a lot of African-American men getting shot. I don't have to exaggerate or not tell the truth about that. That's just real. A lot of our African-American men are in jail or in prison. A lot of other things in our culture that are going on that I think can make the numbers look the same way they did in slavery, but in a different way. It's more sophisticated. So spiritually, I love people getting together no matter who you are. It's just how I am. And I said, well, I can write about how Caucasians, African Americans, Asians, everybody can just help us heal this. So the book is talking about ways we can all come together and make it better. Because I think, I'll give you a little bit of insight into Donna. I think we're all here to make this world better. That's the only reason why we're put in this society, in this world, is to help heal, to help love, to whomever we meet, no matter who you are, and try to heal the best way we can. It can be small, it can be big, it doesn't matter. Whatever you have to give is good enough, because we're all good enough. And so every area that I saw, and still see in our culture, African Americans, I wrote about it, how the problem is still existing, and how we can make it better. So we talk about the African American mother, because of course we know when the families break down in our culture, the African American grandmother is the person that's helping and healing and raising the kids. I'm talking about ways in prison, how maybe pitfalls of that can be overcome. Maybe we can help African American men with education. It does not have to be college. It could be some kind of a trading school, whatever makes you passionate. But whatever can make you heal and maybe not go down a way of destruction, we're talking about that. We're talking about ways to help as far as spirituality, because I think a lot of areas can help, like I taught Leticia. We're going to all have good and bad. I think that's just the way the world is. But I think if you have some kind of belief system, I'm not saying it has to be religion and it has to be some kind of cult or nothing like that, but something that you raise higher than yourself, that brings you peace, that brings you comfort, that brings you compassion in your soul. The book is talking about how to do that. And one other main area that I'm talking about is, of course, corporations, because I think corporations are really in need of diversity. and I have no problem discussing that. In meetings or get-togethers, I don't think it's harmful to spend some time to share, Aubrey, who you are, Nikita, who you are, who's your family, what's it like, and be comfortable with that. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid of it because we're a different color. Grab her and hug her and say, oh, I love you, knacker, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But these kind of things is what break down barriers. And we just don't know it, but it just takes one person, another person to do that. And even at work, that's a part here about corporations, how they can do it. You can do it at church, you can do it in your families. It's really very simple, even though it may seem complex, but it's not. So I feel that healing comes from each one of us. It's a gift, and it's just plain love. It's just love. That's all it is, and how we can do that. Now let Leticia share about how she feels that can work.
Yes, no, I'm so happy that we were able to try to put this together as a project for the world, because it's not about focusing on slavery, focusing on all the racism and everything that's going on. It's acknowledging the fact that it has affected us in a negative way. Us as African Americans, us as Caucasians, us as the world, and what we can do to make steps to heal that and bridge the gap and make it better and stop the generational curse and things of that nature. So, you know, anybody that has an open mind and an open heart can learn from this, and that's what we wanted to take it as a learning tool, not a bashing, you know, not a black thing, not a white thing, but a love thing, as my mom said, and how can we come together so that we can move forward in a positive way.
So we have a question and answer part of the program, so if you guys want to ask us anything, you can. If you want me to elaborate on anything more, I can. You don't have to worry about buying books. I can break it down. I don't have a problem with
Buy
that.
a book, you can meet me at the end.
She's a sales manager person. You can see with that part of the family. So, any questions, any concerns, anybody want to ask, or any elaboration you want us to do more?
Would you mind, Donna, reading a part, like one of your favorite parts that you wrote to everyone?
Which book?
In any of the books, one of your favorites. All of the books.
Page 1.
Stick to our homework. You gotta start with your book on.
I guess you can see the poems are my favorite. But only because to freely write about what you're thinking about, I think is so important, because then your heart and spirit talks. And
Y'all nails too pretty. You want me to do it?
Do you want to yeah.
There we go.
I didn't bring my glasses, but can you see what I'm You know, I'm 61, you guys. Age does. Okay. The pain of feeling you are discriminated against.
The hurt and pain of feeling left out by another race of people is hard to describe. Your feeling of love and belonging to a world that God put here for all is not a daily feeling, nor a spiritual belonging, because it does not exist. Let me tell you, in a small 4'11" body frame size, is a black woman, my point of view. Also 60 years old, on the other side of 50 years old, I should be able to describe the feeling to you. It's a feeling that you do not belong. It's a feeling that you are less than. It is a feeling that you are not good enough, no matter how pretty you are, no matter how many degrees you have. Most important, no matter how kind and humble you are to some people, you are not treated with respect. You can work hard in a store, they follow you around for hours like you're a criminal. You want to cry when you get home from work or finish shopping. You feel like your guts are coming out and a knife is turned in your stomach as if after you smile and act polite, after you were so disrespected. God, thank you for monitoring our people. Thank you for keeping a finger on the pulse of this world. God, thank you for helping me get through it all with pride, dignity, grace, and joy from you. Donna K. Harris.
I don't know if you get
most important is that people just take the time to look at life through other people's eyes. You may not have experienced racism or gone through feeling discriminated against, but you should still take the time to understand how somebody that you care about, that you love, has gone through that and how it makes them feel. And that's what we're asking, is just to have an open-minded heart.
Thanks, Libby Lay. I knew you'd ask a good old, juicy, good question. That was a good one.
Anybody else have any questions or reflections? Lakeela, you look like you have something to say.
I actually was thinking about just some of the difficult times in your life, like explain some of those things that you overcame with Leticia and how you overcame it in a positive way. Just a simple example.
Well, of course, back in the day we weren't rich, I made about $20,000 back in the day. So I was a receptionist, going to school at work, going to academic world at night, church on the weekends, and then raising her. So there was times when I remember we just have cabbage and some cornbread, because times were really tight. But I always kept praying and always kept going to, higher degrees, from my BA, my master's, doctor coursework. And I just always kept the faith and tenacity that we were going to make it, And we would sing and dance a lot. We had a lot. We're always dancing and singing, and people in our choir would be supportive and help us. When I came here, you two angels loved us and helped us. But see, it's a village, you know what I'm saying? Becca had Leticia. This is great. So you have to just hold on to your faith. I'll just say that, Nikila. No matter, and it has to be just single parent life. It can be any adversity. You hold on to your faith, stay encouraged, be around people that really love you and want to help you and support you. Because that little bit, you never know, you can carry home. It can take you a whole year, just that little bit of love. So that's what did it, Nikila Lena. And look at us now!
I know. And actually, I just want to really give my mother a lot of credit, because I watched her go to school, stay grounded in church, do everything she could as a parent to raise me. So she worked at it. You can't just think it's going to happen overnight and all of a sudden I'm going to have degrees and success. She worked day and night, overtime, to make sure that I was happy regardless of our situation, to make sure that, she stayed in church and connected, and that she educated herself. So I really want to just give my mom some credit for that.
This little one has 2 master's degrees, so she's telling you how you can come from nothing and you can make a lot out of it just by holding on to, and kindness. I think it's kindness and love. No matter how bad life was for Leticia and I'm going to still come with the best solo. I'm going to work on it night and day. I'm going to come and make sure I love you guys at work, because I know that you guys love me. And just keep your heart full of love. That's the main thing that I did.
Because I think in life it's so easy to get bitter, to get cold, to get stressed out, burnt out, frustrated. But what is that going to do at the end of the day? But get you cancer and a heart attack, right? So I really feel like, being grounded in love is really key, like my mom said.
What do you do if you share your story? There's always good and the bad.
Right?
But you share your story, and some people may only just see the bad part of it. And a lot of times they don't see the growth from it. Mm-hmm. So my question for you is, how do I make sure that the bad parts, along with the good parts, the bad parts not who I am?
Mm-hmm.
Donna, can you repeat this for the
Oh, okay. So weird. Okay.
My question was, let's see if I can paraphrase it again. If you share your story and you've got the good parts and the bad parts, and people want to focus on the bad parts of your story, it's not the full perspective, but they take the bad parts of your story and try to make it, go with you. How do you say, I don't know,
Well, we get the question. Did everybody hear her? Okay. And I mean, that's exactly why I told my mom we should title it How to Heal, okay? Because I mean, we can watch roots and horror stories of slavery and everything that's happened in the past. We all know what happened, right? But the point is how can we move beyond that? Let's not continue to focus on that. We hate that it happened, and it has destroyed many communities, but how can we build those communities? How can we come together now so that we can move forward? And that's what I would tell somebody who asks, like, listen, hey, if you want a Black history moment about everything that happened, watch the History Channel, watch some movies, but I'm trying to figure out how can you and I see eye to eye so we can avoid this in the future, so that our children don't have to grow up in that type of environment. So I think it's just important to be ready to move forward. Let's not harp on the harsh past.
Can I be talked to?
Well, my hands are on candy.
That's okay. I care about that. I learned in life, and I want you to learn this. Only you are responsible for your journey.
That's right.
I'll say it again, don't say it in love. Only you are responsible for your journey. It's going to be good, it's going to be bad. No matter who we are, nobody's going to be exempt from that. You have to take and know in your heart who you are. And if you know you're good, coming from a good place, then you have to worry about whatever somebody else says about you or think about you. We heard it all. Okay, you don't have to worry about that. If you know you're okay, you're doing the right thing, coming from a good place, you don't have to worry about nothing else. And I have learned, and what I do here at night, and I told my managers do this, I go home and I pray for people. Even if they say bad things about me. Right. Okay? This is powerful. I want you to learn this. Even if they say bad things about me, or if I get a bad call, somebody may say I hate Capella, or I don't like this, or I don't like that, or Miss Donna, what about this? Okay, I'm going to walk home and I'm going to pray about that. Or you can use whatever words you want, chant, put positivity, whatever words work good for you. But I've learned how to get that off of me, right? Because it's not my issue. Because I'm not that person. And come from love again the next day. And we're only responsible for ourselves. That's all. Keep your heart and your spirit good, honest, open for kindness, and everything else will come. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, any other concerns or anything? Oh, Sister Karen.
I have a question on mine. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you hold mine, I can hold mine.
Hi, this is Melody Kruzik. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Say yes.
You have to say yes.
Yeah, we can hear you okay.
Oh.
Okay, all right, sorry. So I work remotely in Iowa. Not very diverse at all, even less so than in Minneapolis. And so my husband and daughter and I were all believers, and I'm just wondering kind of how we can help we've got some good guidance on how to bring up our daughter in a godly way, but how can we, when we're in an environment that's not very diverse in a lot of different ways, how can we help her appreciate diversity and, you know, and be in a community that's focused on healing?
That's a really great question, and thanks for coming online. This is very high tech. I think you really hit it on the nail, because I feel like racism is kind of something that's passed down from generation to generation. A lot of the people that I found that are extremely racist, their parents were extremely racist. And they taught them, this is how you treat people. This is how you act when you see people that are not like you. So if you take the initiative as a parent to tell your children that, hey, everybody's not the same. Everybody's not created, the same skin color, the same size, the same financial status. And that doesn't mean that they're not a good person. That doesn't mean that you can't speak to them. That doesn't give you the right to be violent or rude or disrespectful and evil to them. So if you take the initiative as a parent to really install those values into your children, then hopefully we'll grow up with a generation of a new generation that accepts everybody for who they are. Because we all bleed and eat and drink the same, and that's what it's really about, is equality.
Did she answer that okay, or you want
You're
more?
speaking the same, yeah. It reminded me of the Medusa song, if you haven't heard that. It's a really good one.
Yeah, play
So
the
we all
song for
believe
your
the
kids.
same. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I played all
Thanks so
kinds of
much.
songs for Leticia. White, black, orange, yellow. We just get our groove on and all of it. We sing and dance to it.
Yeah.
And I taught her that.
It's our favorite one in the house too. We do the same. We have lots of dance parties.
It's just about having fun and keeping a happy environment around your children, no matter what's going on.
Is that answer it good enough, or
you.
wants to go a little bit more in
It
depth? 'Cause
does,
we
it
can.
does. No, it's very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you for asking. Sister Karen.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Mike is for the people online, I guess. All right, Miss Donna, so this question is for you. So, we know that your gift is love, okay? Because you are someone that would need someone today, you were telling me you love them today. And you've been at Capella for 13 years, correct? My question to you is, we know that Capella appreciates diversity, but we also know that there's opportunity to really infuse more diversity here at Capella. And with your history in that poem, really struck a chord, because I heard a lot of pain, and you mentioned some of your personal experiences at work. So what can we do as an organization here at Capella to beyond love, to begin to have those conversations in safe spaces, and to go beyond those conversations to begin to infuse those in our culture?
Well, good question, and now since been dying for this, I'm gonna ask Team Awesome to stand up, and I'll show you how it looks, and I'll tell you how it looks. Team Awesome, stand up, and let me show you how it looks and how it works. Old and new, now you can stand up too.
I'll video.
Okay, I'll give you examples. Deanna, stand up too, please. I came into an environment, like you were speaking about, insurance company for over 20 years, that was not about any love. They didn't care. And people of color, you can just pretty much forget it. And I'm just gonna be honest about that. So I came to Capella. Thank goodness Nikita and Knacker worked together with my daughter to get me here. That's why they're all so I never have been in a spot like this before, Karen, where people really care about you, really love each other, really share the culture, the good and the bad, because your life's going to be good and bad, and get downright nitty-gritty about it and be honest about it. So, A is having the hard discussions about the good and the bad. B, coming together collectively on how we can maybe make things better. Like if our dog is having a problem or I'm having a problem, I'll hear a Caucasian perspective. Okay, I'll hear it. And I'll say, well, that might be a different, it's not my perspective because I'm African American, but I'll share hers. And I'm open enough to grow and learn from that and receive it. Does that make any sense? I've been around Nikita and Knacker and their families and see how that works. They're both married, they both have good, crazy dancing families. Learn that. I brought that home from me and Leticia. So I'm not afraid, to be honest, to infuse other people's culture, learn from it, grow from it, respect them enough that I'm going to share the parts that I need, maybe not all of them, but what I could to help our lives be better. And I think that in order for Capella to grow, I'm just going to be truthful. I think every department needs to be an example from Team Awesome. And then we have Stu. We have Stu, our supervisor, that I talk to about any and everything. I don't care if you hear that or not. And he'll give me a theory. He'll give me an example. So not just that woo talk. He'll give me a theory. He'll give me an example. He'll give me the book content behind something so that I can grow and learn and be better. I think every department can model from this. This is what I've learned from this place, and I'm very thankful. I know it's a gift. Every company, every department are not living like that, and I'm aware of that. And I'm 61 years old, so I know it's true. So I just want to also thank you for this group of leaders. They're fantastic. All right. Just want to make sure.
So we're gonna wrap it up, you guys. We just really like to thank you for taking the time to come out, to support us, to have an open heart and an open mind, and that is the key. Don't just come to seminars and sit and listen and read books. Apply it to your everyday life. Speak to somebody that you normally wouldn't speak to. Get a perspective that you wouldn't normally get, and help us bridge the gap and continue to heal the community.
I'm going to show y'all one last thing how this looks. Becca Miller, please come up. Becca used to be my daughter's boss. If we both start crying, just overlook us. This is for you. My daughter has come home, and she's told me how Becca has treated her kindly. See, if you're good to my baby, that means a lot to me, because me and her have been in this world together kind of by ourselves. Becca helped her and gave her a doctor to help her. This is what culture looks like in diversity. You go over and beyond who you are to help someone else. You don't know who it could be. She had no idea I'd be coming to Capella, 10, 20 years left, 10 years later. She had no idea that. My mom died at 43 of breast and uterus cancer. So we have a problem with this in our family. And to see my daughter go through pain like me and my mom died, I'm still here, thank God. But we couldn't find out some things that were going on with Leticia. So people are sent angels. I'm at work, but I don't care. I'm too old. I'm just a little bit too old to care about what I can't and can't say. I'm done caring about this stuff. I wish I could shut up more, but I'm just a little bit too old. But diversity is sharing what you have or what you know and handing it over to somebody else. Not money. It can be a referral. It can be I love you. It can be something in the smallest way, but it can change their lives. My kid is standing right now over somebody caring for my baby. Didn't even know I'd be coming here. Didn't have no idea. But I just want to show you how it looks and how it's looked in my life for over 61 years. It's a chain effect. It's all just by caring, kindness, love, respect. Let me help you, I'll help you. And then the world's a better place for me. So that's how it is.
Can I say something? I just want to say thank you. You two are just gifts to the world, and it's the most inspiring thing today that I've seen in a long time. Thank you for sharing your gifts of love. It's so simple, and yet we don't think about it enough in this world. So thank you for sharing that and living it every day. Thank you.
No, I just want to tell you too that thank you, Becca, for giving me the opportunity. You know, you could have just turned your back.
Hey,
saw the
go ahead.
potential.
She's a good talker.
Maybe not the best, but you know, work in progress. But she saw the potential in me. She saw, you know, that I could have what it takes to work for this amazing company. A couple years later, I referred my mother, and here you guys have her today. So it's just full circle, and we'd like to thank Capella for everything. Thanks so much, you guys.
Anybody else want to ask